Hello students. Last time we have studied the classification of acids, and in this part we will deal with the properties of. As we have seen earlier that these compounds were named as acids due to their sour taste. So now the very first property with which we are going to deal, that's the acids are sour in taste. If we talk about their behavior in their aqueous solution, so the aqueous solution of an acid conducts electricity due to they release or they ionize in their aqueous solution, and due to the presence of ions in their aqueous solution. Now the next property that we will see is the aqueous solution of an acid conducts electricity. Now, if we talk about the behavior of strong acid, so these strong acids are very harmful to the skin or to any organic material, and this harmful behavior is known as their corrosive nature. So if we talk about the behavior of strong acids, so these strong acids are very corrosive in nature. This was about their physical properties. Now if we talk about their behavior to a different chemical reaction, and if we see the very first chemical reaction, that the reaction with metals. If we react these acids and if we take their dilute solution, so when these dilute acids react with metals, by the reaction the resultant product will be salt with the release of hydrogen gas, or only those metals will show these kinds of reaction which are more reactive than hydrogen. So finally, we can say that if a metal comes upper in the metal reactivity series than hydrogen, so this more reactive metal will displace hydrogen from acid. For example, if we take sodium metal and react it with dilute hydrochloric acid, so when this dilute hydrochloric acid is reacted with sodium, sodium being more reactive than hydrogen will displace hydrogen from its compound, and finally the salt will be sodium chloride with the evolving of hydrogen gas. Same as if I take magnesium, which is also more reactive than hydrogen, and now this time if I react with this dilute sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, so by the reaction the salt magnesium sulfate will be formed, that is MgSO4, and the hydrogen gas will be released again in this reaction. Reactive metal will not show this kind of displacement, such as for example if I take copper, which is less reactive than hydrogen, and if I react with this dilute sulfuric acid, so when these two are mixed, the no reaction occurs because copper being less reactive than hydrogen cannot displace hydrogen from its compound. On the other hand, in place of dilute sulfuric acid, if I react this copper with concentrated solution of sulfuric acid, so since concentrated sulfuric acid solution has more oxidizing nature as compared to dilute solution, in this condition it will oxidize copper into Cu2 plus ion, and finally the salt CuSO4 will be formed with the oxide of sulfur, that is sulfur dioxide, and molecule of water will also be released. So if we react concentrated acid with a less reactive metal, there may be the formation of some product, but in case of dilute acid and a less reactive metal, no reaction will be occur. So this kind of reaction will be shown by all metals which are more reactive than hydrogen. If these more reactive metals are reacted with dilute acid, the resultant will be hydrogen gas. Only the one exception is there. In place of any dilute acid, if I react or if I take dilute nitric acid, so when this dilute nitric acid is when reacted with a metal, so being strong oxidizing agent, it will oxidize the metal, and finally in place of hydrogen gas we will get water as a product. So pay concentration here. In place of any acid, if we take nitric acid, the final product will not be the hydrogen gas, it will be the molecule of water. For example, if we take zinc and react it with dilute nitric acid, the final product will be salt of zinc, that is zinc nitrate, ZnNO3 whole twice, and the oxide of nitrogen. Now which kind of oxide of nitrogen will be formed? It depends on many factors like the concentration of nitric acid, like the behavior of metal, and in this condition the nitrous oxide N2O will be formed. In place of hydrogen gas, here the final product will be the molecule of water. So this is the exceptional case with nitric acid. Except nitric acid, if we take another acid and react it with the more reactive metal, finally we will get hydrogen gas, and this gas behavior can be checked because this gas burns with a pop sound. So by this activity we can prove this, that the evolved gas is hydrogen gas. Now if we take the next reaction of acid, the next reaction is reaction of acid with metal carbonates or metal bicarbonate. If an acid is reacted with metal carbonate, shortly I am writing it as M.C, or on the place of metal carbonate, if we react this with metal bicarbonate. So in both the condition, the product will be same. It will be salt with water, and the evolving of carbon dioxide gas will be occur. For example, if we take hydrochloric acid as the molecule of acid and react it with a carbonate, metal carbonate, that's sodium carbonate. So by the reaction, the formation of salt will be there, and here the salt will be sodium chloride. The rest two products are same. It will be the molecule of water and evolving of carbon dioxide gas. Now the behavior of carbon dioxide gas, or to check this whether the carbon dioxide gas is released, if we pass this carbon dioxide gas to lime water, so it will convert lime water into a milky solution. And if the lime water solution is going to be converted into a milky solution, so this proves that carbon dioxide gas is passed through the solution. Now, in place of hydrochloric acid, if I take the another example of acid, that's sulfuric acid. So when this sulfuric acid is reacted with, we will take a metallic bicarbonate, and this sulfuric acid when reacted with sodium bicarbonate, the resultant will be the salt of sodium, that is sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. The rest two products are same as initial, that is molecule of water and carbon dioxide gas. So here the reaction is again same. Reaction of acid and a metallic bicarbonate is going to form a salt, water and carbon dioxide. And this kind of reaction is used in soda acid fire extinguisher. Since this carbon dioxide gas doesn't support in combustion, so this behavior of carbon dioxide is used to put off the fire. And this kind of fire extinguisher, where we as the reactant we take sulfuric acid or sodium bicarbonate, commonly this is known as soda acid fire extinguisher. So this is the second reaction, that is reaction of acid with metallic carbonate and metallic bicarbonate. Now we will react this acid with some another compound. The third reaction is reactions of acid with metallic oxide. Since these metallic oxides are basic in nature, the general behavior of metallic oxides is basic. Sometimes these metallic oxides are also found with amphoteric nature, but generally they are basic in nature. So when these basic substances are reacted with acid, being basic in nature, they neutralizes the acidic character of acid, and finally the product will be salt and water. For example, if I take hydrochloric acid and react this with metallic oxides such as sodium oxide, as the product the salt sodium chloride is formed, and a molecule of water is also formed as a subproduct. In place of hydrochloric acid, we may take the another acid also, such as if we take carbonic acid and react this with magnesium oxide, which is also basic in nature. So this magnesium oxide will neutralize carbonic acid. Finally, magnesium carbonate MgCO3 will be formed, and a water molecule will also be there. So this is the reaction of metallic oxide with acid. Now we will react directly base with acid. Till the time we have seen the reaction of acid with those compounds which were basic in nature. Now directly we will react these acids with bases. So next reaction is reaction with bases. If we react acid with bases, so by the reaction the product will be salt and water. For example, if I take hydrochloric acid and react it with sodium hydroxide, so this hydrochloric acid will neutralize the basic behavior of sodium hydroxide. Finally, the salt sodium chloride will be formed, and the molecule of water will be there. Same as if I take sulfuric acid H2SO4 and react this with magnesium hydroxide MgOH whole twice, the product will be magnesium sulfate MgSO4 and water. In this kind of reaction, where an acid neutralizes the basic behavior of base, is also known as neutralization reaction. If we talk about the behavior of neutralization reaction, whether these reactions are endothermic or exothermic, so these neutralization reactions are highly exothermic in nature. A high amount of energy is released when an acid is reacted with bases, and if as the component or as the reactant, if we use a strong acid and react this with a strong base, so by the reaction a fixed amount of energy is released. The value is 57.1 kilojoule. On the other hand, in place of strong components, if any one of the reactant is taken as a weak component, such as if I react a weak acid with a strong base, or if I react a strong acid with a weak base, or if both the reactants shows less ionization, both are weak in nature, one is weak acid, second one is weak base. So by the reaction of these reactant, the energy which is going to be released in this process will be always lesser than 57.1 kilojoule. So this energy is specific when the reactants are strong in nature. If any one of the reactant is weaker in nature, so the amount of energy will be lesser than this 57.1 kilojoule. Now with this neutralization reaction, many times we deal with this reaction in our daily life also, such as when an ant stings, when an ant injects its stings. So as we have seen earlier that in ants stings, acid is there, that is formic acid, and when it injects its stings in our body, so by the injection it injects formic acid in our body. Due to the excess amount of acid injected from outside, we feel pain or irritation, and to neutralize this excess amount of acid, we rub the injected part with soap, because soap contains sodium hydroxide, which is basic in nature. So when this soap solution which has base neutralizes the injected formic acid, a neutralization reaction occurs, and by this neutralization reaction a person gets relief. In place of soap solution, sometimes we use the rusted iron key also, because rust is basically iron oxide, Fe2O3, it's ferric oxide, and metallic oxides being basic in nature can neutralize the acidic behavior of this formic acid. So in place of soap solution, if we use rusted iron key, this will also help us to get relief from the stings of from the pain or irritation. On the other hand, if we take the example of acidity, so sometimes we feel acidity due to the ejection of excess amount of hydrochloric acid in our stomach, and this excess amount of hydrochloric acid is neutralized by a substance which is basic in nature. To neutralize this excess amount of acid, the tablets which we use are known as antacids, and generally these antacids contain weak bases such as magnesium hydroxide. This magnesium hydroxide, being basic in nature, neutralizes the excess amount of hydrochloric acid present in our stomach, and as it goes to neutralize, so by this neutralization reaction we get relief from the pain or irritation or by the acidity. So this is the examples of neutralization reaction that we deal in our daily life. Next time we will be talking about the properties of